What's up, Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The government is responding to claims that the number of undocumented foreigners in Taiwan has reached a record high of 115,000. That includes nearly 83,000 migrant workers reported missing by their employers. Louise Watt reports.
Police in Taoyuan City stopping an overloaded taxi, only to then discover that all 6 passengers were migrant workers from Vietnam reported missing by their employers. A few days earlier, 2 Thai nationals that authorities say were illegally employed by a Taiwan power company subcontractor died in a car crash while en route to a job site during a typhoon. It's incidents like these that are throwing attention on undocumented migrant workers in Taiwan. Most migrant workers come from Southeast Asia, and their status is tied to a single employer. They're not allowed to leave or change jobs, though many do, because of poor work conditions, disagreements with their employer, or in search of better wages. Migrant workers were temporarily barred from entering Taiwan during the pandemic, which made the labour shortage worse. But Taiwan's Ministry of Labour says that since borders reopened, fewer migrant workers have been reported missing, and their overall number has increased. From a total of 739,000 migrant workers, 16,700 were reported missing in the first half of 2023, down 4,400 from the same period in 2022. In that time, the rate fell from 3.14% to 2.28%. The Labour Ministry says that's partly because Taiwan has been cracking down on illegal employment and allowed visa overstayers to voluntarily depart. But observers say Taiwan is not getting to the root of the problem. Migrant workers come to Taiwan in search of a better life. With an aging population and a shrinking workforce, observers say Taiwan needs to have more flexible policies for people who want to live and work in the country. Alex Chen and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
A new offshore wind power operation and maintenance center is due to open by the end of next year. As Joyce Sung reports, it's a milestone for Taiwan's net zero emission goals.
This 3D mock-up shows what will soon become Taiwan's first net zero emission building. It's an offshore wind power and maintenance center, an initiative led by state-owned energy supplier Taipower. Taiwan wants to hit net zero by 2050, which means taking out as much greenhouse gases as is being put into the air. It's an ambitious goal, considering the country's main sources of energy are imported natural gas and coal. But slowly and surely, the focus is shifting onto sources of renewable energy, like wind power, where sites like this new offshore center will come into play.
让台湾走向近邻是一个全民，是一个各部门一体共同努力协作的一个工作。
The island nation benefits from ideal conditions for harnessing offshore wind and turning it into electricity. Earlier this year, Taiwan opened its 3rd offshore wind farm, which is capable of powering nearly 400,000 homes. 70% of the country's wind power comes from here, central Changhua County on the western coast of the island. That's also where this new center is being built. In the future, components from offshore wind farms that need fixing will come here for repairs.
彰化这一带的风力发电是全世界10大风场之一。那上天给我们这么好的祝福，我们如果没有好好的天助自助来发展这一个风力发电，那我们真的是暴殄天物了哈。所以我们大家一起努力。
Over $20 million have gone into the planned 7,000 square meter site, and it's expected to be operational by the end of 2024. And its designers are confident that it will not only elevate Changhua's position as a leader in wind power, but also help bring the country closer to its ambitious net zero goals. Howard Zhang and Joyce Sin for TaiwanPlus.
August 14 is International Memorial Day for Comfort Women, a day to remember the women and girls forced into sexual slavery by the Japanese Army during World War II. For decades, Taiwan has been calling on the Japanese government to recognize Taiwan's 2,000 comfort women. Bing Wang reports from the Ama Museum, a space dedicated to their lives and memory.
Remembering the 2,000 Taiwanese women enslaved for sex by the Japanese Imperial Army during World War II. This marks 32 years since the first so-called comfort woman came out with her story. In Taiwan, it's the first commemoration without a Taiwanese survivor. The memorial is taking place in this Taipei museum called Ama, which means grandmother in the local Taiwanese Hokkien language. It's a space dedicated to keeping memories of Taiwanese comfort women alive. The museum also serves as a place to promote gender equality and to highlight the trauma caused by sexual abuse.
这些前台籍慰安妇阿嬷们他们的历史资料，跟他们的口述历史啊，跟他们等等的他们的生命经验，我们把它保存在这个馆内，然后希望让世人跟社会大众不要忘记这段历史。
Imperial Japan ruled Taiwan from 1895 until its defeat in World War II in 1945. During those 50 years, Japan governed Taiwan with an iron fist. The Japanese rulers exploited Taiwan's resources, brutally suppressed dissent, forced the population to use the Japanese language, and clamped down on personal freedoms.
The Japanese colonial period was certainly one that involved significant repression. There were a large number of revolts and insurrections against Japanese rule that were violently put down by the Japanese military.
During World War II, the Japanese army opened brothels in Taiwan. Women were forced to serve the soldiers during the day and raped during the night. The Japanese also had comfort women in the Philippines, South Korea, and China. In total, around 200,000 were enslaved in Japanese-occupied territories. In 2015, Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo signed a historic agreement with South Korea offering $8.3 million in reparations. So far, only South Korea has received an official apology.
Some may say that it could because the Taiwan's special international status.
Japan's one-China policy means it only has diplomatic ties with Beijing and does not recognize Taiwan, which China claims as part of its own territory. This adds another layer of complication to historical matters. The last Taiwanese comfort woman died at the age of 92 in May 2023, but rights activists are still calling on the Japanese government to offer these women recognition and to offer families reparations. This museum aims to keep their memories alive, to offer a space for healing, and to teach younger generations about the trauma brought about by war and gender violence. Devin Tsai and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Tourists visiting Taipei are often surprised to find eating and drinking is banned on the metro. Even water is not allowed. And until a few days ago, even a lot of locals weren't entirely sure why. Stash Butler has this report.
No eating or drinking beyond the yellow line. That's the rule for Taipei's Metro, or MRT, and it's punishable by law.
旅客在捷运禁止饮食区内吃东西、喝饮料、嚼食口香糖或槟榔，处新台币1500元以上7500元以下的罚款。
But not many people in Taiwan are actually sure why this is.
减少很多细菌或者是昆虫、小动物的滋生，没有气味，然后车子摇晃，食物才不容易掉下去。
依照这个捷运局他们所做的这些规范，这样大家都比较平安，也比较安全。
But after passengers recently spotted a rat inside a train carriage, the Metro came out on Facebook with the real reason. It's less about health and more about protecting train equipment. Rats and other animals can chew through cables, threatening the highly automated network that serves more than 2 million people a day. While Taipei has no shortage of rats, it's not on the scale of other global cities like Paris or New York. And with the Metro's eating and drinking ban, Taipei hopes to keep them out of the tunnels and clear of commuters too. Alex Chen and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally today, we leave you with images of penguins being released back to the sea after recovery in Argentina. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.